Good morning. We are back for another trust and estate quick tip. We are finishing up our personal representative series. As a quick reminder, personal representative is basically the executor, person appointed to handle the probate administration. So today we're going to talk about who gets to be the personal representative. There is actually an order of preference that the court must follow. So it will depend on whether the decedent had a will or didn't have a will. So this is one area where it can be super important to have a will if you want to specify who you want to be a personal representative of your estate. So let's start with, if you do have a will, then the person that you've nominated in the will, they have preference. Hands down, the court almost has no authority to appoint somebody else if that person wants to be the personal representative and they're qualified to do so. So that will can be really, really important. If that person doesn't come forward, or there's, maybe they're deceased or not qualified, and there's no alternate person named, then it's going to be somebody who petitions to be the personal representative and is selected by a majority in interest of the beneficiaries. So that's not the same as just a regular majority. If somebody has different percentage interest in the estate, they basically get a bigger vote. So a person elected by the majority, or any beneficiary named in the will. Then we move on to, if there is no will, who has preference? The spouse. If there's a spouse, the spouse has preference. After the spouse, it's similar. It's a majority in interest of those beneficiaries. After that, it's just the relative that's closest in degree. There's a chart of, how you're related to somebody, so the person that is the closest. After that, let's say none of those people want to do it, none of those people come forward, then basically just about anybody who's competent can be appointed by the court. So anybody can petition the court to be personal representative. You have to give proper notice to the people that have a higher preference than you do. Sometimes the court has to just appoint a court-appointed attorney, typically, to serve if nobody wants to be the personal representative. But there are preferences in appointment, so make sure you get that right so that you give the proper people proper notice so that you can get appointed.